Hi all my sweet friends. So today's video is a little bit different. Like I said in my last video, I ended up filming like some fun facts about myself to share with you guys while I was styling my hair. And I had this on the list and I was just going to briefly share it, but then I thought, you know what, make a small video about it. And it really is relevant to this day and age. It's relevant to this time of the year, especially this time of the year. I feel like in the summertime, we are more prone to be like let our guard down. It's nice out, we're with our families and friends, and we're going to the beach and we're going to the pool. And I feel like we although we try to be aware of our surroundings, I feel like when it's warm and beautiful and the sun's shining, something about that time of the year just makes you want to have fun and not worry about things. But this is very, very important and something I am very passionate about, and I wanted to share with you. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Charlie. I usually like doing affordable fashion, plus size fashion, and I usually do like lifestyle, grocery hauls, regular hauls, but today I wanted to share this story with you. I've thought about it for a while and I was kind of sitting on the idea of doing it, and I finally come to the conclusion that I am going to share it. So this is the story about when my daughter and I personally believe we were either in a situation to be potentially kidnapped or sex trafficked. I know it sounds extreme, but when you hear what happened, you guys can be the judge of character. It has been brought to my attention in the area that I was living previous that there had been a lot of women followed and approached at night in specific areas that aren't always the best. And I've always believed that it's a major problem. My cousin, who I was close to growing up for a very long time, was involved in sex trafficking, and she got herself into a whole mess of trouble, and right now she is in a state prison for women's, and hopefully she will become rehabilitated and she'll get the help she needs there. But she was in what I consider sex trafficking because she was constantly being drugged and sold to men, and we never knew what was going on, and a lot of times we thought it was consensual from her, but it absolutely is not. And I think this could help even one person to be more aware of their surroundings. It's very important to me, and I think sex trafficking is not anywhere near talked about enough. So it was about I'm gonna say about 7 years ago. I took my daughter and my two younger sisters to go to a store called Kmart. It's not opened anymore. It was quite a long time ago. Funny, I actually met my husband at Kmart. We were both working there together years and years ago, 16 years ago. But about 7 years ago, I had taken my sister and my daughter to go buy, she needed a new winter jacket. So we walk into Kmart. My two sisters were about 12, 13. They were old enough to walk off together by themselves. So I sent them over. They were going to look at like CDs and books and things like that. And my daughter and I went over to the little girls section to find a jacket for her. It was getting closer to the end of the season, so there wasn't many options for us. She had just grown out of her previous jacket pretty quickly. So we were kind of looking at the clearance items and we were just going through it. And I noticed a man in the corner. He was a white man, tall. He had blonde, like shaggy hair. He literally just looked like an average white man. I didn't take really too much notice to him, except he was browsing the little girl section. Could have been there for his kids. Could have been there for a grandkid. He was about late 40s, early 50s. I can literally see his face still. And I just didn't think too much of it. My daughter was about 5, 6 years old. She was kind of just browsing like she was about 8 because it was 7 years ago. She's 15 now. So she was about 8, I should say. So old enough to kind of be within eyesight of me. And she was just looking through the clothes and I was looking at the jackets. And he approached me and he said, "What size is your daughter?" And I stupidly said, "Oh, let's just say she was a 10, 12 at the time." I said, "Oh," and I thought the reason he was asking was possibly because he had a child maybe her age. Really didn't think too much about it. Maybe he just didn't know. He says to me, "Oh, what are you shopping for?" And I said, "A new winter jacket," just making conversation, never thought too much about it. And then he starts to kind of be, I could see he was getting visibly agitated, and I didn't know why. He was very fidgety, I should say. And he says, "Oh, I have 2 brand new winter coats out in my car, and it would be a shame, they don't fit my daughter. It would be a shame to throw them out. If you would just walk out to my car I will give them to you. And I said, oh, I appreciate it. There is a donation bin right out front. I was like, I do appreciate it, but we're going to buy a jacket. And I could see him get very agitated. And I said, Brooke, you know, that's my daughter's name. I said, come over here with me. I could feel myself. I knew something was wrong. My mother's intuition was going off. I knew something was wrong. And I politely said, no, thank you. Then he said, oh, he's like, just come out to the car with me. He's like, it's no big deal. He's like, she can try it on and then you guys can keep the 2 jackets for free. I said, I'm okay. I have the money for it. I don't need to follow you out. So I start to pick Brooke up. I picked her hand up and we started to walk to the clearance desk, and he continued to follow me and try to manipulate the situation. And I could see him being very fidgety with his hands. He was very agitated. I mean, and he was becoming more aggressive with getting me to follow him to his vehicle. And I thought to myself, I started to walk to the service desk, and when he saw that I was walking that way, he decided to go the other way. Was I overreacting? Possibly, but I would rather overreact than underreact. And I thought to myself, there's a lot of people that are vulnerable. They don't know about these things. They are possibly in a situation where they are financially struggling. And had he convinced like a single mother or a single grandmother or an aunt to follow him out there, I can't imagine what his intentions were. Now, I don't know if he wanted me, if he wanted Brooke, or if he wanted to, because he kept saying for us to follow him. I never would have. He never offered to bring the jackets in the store. He never offered anything like that. He wanted me to leave the store and follow him to the car. And I should have said this in the beginning. It was late at night. It was wintertime and it was dark early. It was right around 6 to 7 o'clock and it was dark. I never saw him again in the store. I went right over to the service desk, reported what happened. The next day, they had all of the interaction on camera, but unfortunately, nothing had happened. He hadn't touched us. They did see him following us. They obviously took report of it and notice of the person. Nothing unfortunately came of it because nothing really happened other than him soliciting me to his vehicle. But I kept thinking, my husband was devastated. He's like, why didn't you call me? We had someone escort us out to our car, the 4 of us. I went and found my sisters. And I kept thinking to myself, like, what if some woman who was a single mother, who was so down on her luck, just having such a bad day, saw this man who looked like an average, normal guy. He wasn't dirty. He wasn't, not that anybody dirty is bad, but you know what I mean? He didn't visibly come off as strange other than he was extremely fidgety. He was constantly moving his hands and rocking back and forth. And I just think to myself that I am so grateful that I just listened. I didn't become nervous or combative or yelling. I just picked up my daughter's hand and walked to the nearest service where there was employees working. It scares me to this day because there is so many stories that are just like this. I heard a story not too long ago on a podcast about a mother who was trying to send her daughter for the summer to live with the father. She was so desperate for clothes for this little girl. She had $100 on her. They went to the local Walmart or dollar store. This man offered to buy everything for them, and he offered to take them to Walmart. He ended up taking them to Walmart, had the little girl trying on clothes and the family trying on clothes. She walks with him to go to get something to eat from McDonald's in the Walmart. He ends up kidnapping and killing her. And it's just like, that's such a similar story to mine, except for the fact that I knew to get away from this man. Something told me. And I thought to myself at the time, I had no money. I was so poor. My husband was working paycheck to paycheck. I needed a jacket for her so bad. It was so cold that winter and I just knew to leave. We never got the jacket. We just went home. And it just has stuck with me all these years. And I think that it is super relevant, especially summer. I say this all the time. Summer is like everybody's out and about. People are in smaller clothes, which shouldn't matter, but it just scares me. You just are at the pool. Kids can go missing so fast. And I just wanted to share this with you. It's my experience with whatever that man was up to. I don't think it was good. I think that he had, I don't know if he was on drugs. I don't know what he is, if he had somebody outside waiting for us, but he kept soliciting me to leave with him. And the only reason I share this is because I just hope that maybe it reached somebody and you can relate, or you could share stories and we can kind of talk back and forth. Like I said, I do have experience with the sex trafficking because my cousin, thank God, she's somewhere safe. Even though it's prison, she is safe, and hopefully she'll get out and be able to start over and get her life together. But my God, that was scary. It scared me for a long time, and now I am helicopter mom. Nothing gets past me. I try my best to keep my girls safe and make sure they know you don't leave with anyone. I don't give a shit if it's a police officer. I don't give a shit if it's a person working there. If there's no reason for anyone to take you singularly alone. If you are with your friends, you stay in a group, you don't leave that group, you do not go to the bathroom alone, nothing. Nothing. I would rather be overly cautious than not cautious enough, you know what I mean? So that is today's video. I hope this can help somebody. Maybe we can share a few stories together and maybe talk down in the comments below. I will link some of my social media. I will link all my social media down below for you guys, and I will see all of my beautiful friends in the next video. Bye, guys.